Those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9?
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for them to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for them to escape the pocket and run.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Now a give coming right is Breida. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Breida. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Murray. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing. But to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position. And to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And they'll run with Etienne.
That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
Once more, Etienne. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start. Is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because, to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. Now Murray. Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles. 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, through 2 months to win them. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Murray, he'll dump this down to Matt Breida. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Murray now on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Jaguars will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Lawrence now off the bootleg. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 26.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Lawrence going to fire it out wide, complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Lawrence going to throw again. Looking left side, and it's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Etienne. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Out of his end zone comes Andy Isabella. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch. And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it in. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off at the 24. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. His second catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first. And it's second down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Lawrence going to get this to Etienne. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down. Let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now Lawrence on first down. And Shark calls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Here's Lawrence to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On third down, Davidson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll try and run for it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. There wasn't even thought of a short field goal. There was no hesitation. They were going for it.
I think he was thinking ahead a couple plays ago, that if he got in this situation, they were definitely going for it. And you're right. It was a confident call and a decisive run to pick it up.
That's complete to Travis Etienne out of the backfield. Touchdown, Jaguars! Woo! Travis Etienne on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jags are able to add on to their first-half lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Isabella now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Breida. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now a give to Breida. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On play action, it's Murray. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to kick it away. That's pulled in at the 32. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
The tackle is just shy of midfield. A gain of 12. First down.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. DJ Chark with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Isabella now from his... And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And the Jags grab it. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. DJ Chark as the first half is winding down. And the Jaguars will extend their lead here just before halftime. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Isabella now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the time we have to leave
the booth.
At the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's a give to Etienne. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
46 yards on the ground for him so far.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They'll run on first down. It's Davidson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And the Jaguars send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. This is taken at the 18. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
First down, Murray. He's going to look deep for more.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Murray again. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he'll bring it way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to be stopped up just short of the first down at the Cardinals' 42. 56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
And Tucson. They can't hang with us. Mike's by protein spell. Stick.
On 3rd down, it's Davidson, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars continue to roll. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You're going to... changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Now Murray off play action.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Jags will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Watch the safety creep.
Another tote for Etienne.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
70 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game. I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne.
Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
Ready, break. Hey, Delta.
Now Lawrence.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And his kick here is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Murray. That'll be complete to Breida. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Murray going to throw. Buying time to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. This one winding toward a conclusion, and how would you assess how the secondary has played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid, still pitching a shutout. They run for it with Breida. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jags take over in terrific field position. On 1st down, Davidson, and he'll be brought down at about the 42.
Zaven Collins there to make the play defensively.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So this will be a